understand that.
All right.
All right. Let
Yes.
me get the rest of the folks in here. Everybody know what they call football, what they call soccer in England is football. Well, the World Cup final was on there, and a man is making his way to the right to a man makes his way to his seat right next to the pitch. The pitch is the field. He sits down, notices that the seat next to him is empty. He leans over and asks his neighbor, "Is someone going to be sitting here?" His neighbor says, "No, that seat is empty." "That is incredible," the man said. "Who in their right mind would have a seat like this in the finals and not use it?" The neighbor says, "Well, actually, the seat belongs to me. I was supposed to come with my wife, but she passed away."
Virginia,
Oh,
did you want to hear the program?
The
Okay.
first,
I
let
thought
me
at first I
let me
wasn't gonna be
mute
able to get in,
everybody.
but
yeah,
I'm in.
good idea.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye, bye.
Everyone.
So the neighbor says, "Well, actually, the seat belongs to me. I was supposed to come with my wife, but she passed away. This is the first World Cup final. We haven't been together since we got married." "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that," said his neighbor. "That's terrible. But couldn't
George begged.
hold on. Not going to be my day here." This is the first World Cup we haven't been to together since we got married. "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. But couldn't you find someone else, a friend, a relative, or even a neighbor to take her seat?" He shakes his head and he says, "No." He says, "They're all at the funeral." Mary Ann got,
George begged.
You should hear us laughing.
they're all at the funeral. Okay. So this is the introductory class. A couple of things. If you've registered for the class and you're not a member of the club, it's okay to come in as a guest today, but I'd like you all to, if you are a guest, the class is specifically designed for the membership, and therefore I'd like you to join the club. And you can go to do that by going to thestug.org. Pretty easy, thestug.org. And there's a form that you can get, download it, print it, and send it in along with the annual dues. I think it's $30 a year now. Okay, it's almost cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks these days. We usually start the meeting with a joke. Some people don't think they're, no, never mind. And we also start with a tip of the day. So today's tip is how to fix haptics on your iPhone. First of all, I think I should define what haptics are for the new people. Haptics are a little vibration that you get on your finger when you touch your phone at particular times or places, and you can feel the vibration. So if you're not feeling that vibration when you hit your phone, how can you get to have that? And what I'm going to do is share my screen and give you and show you how that happens. Everybody see my screen? Whoops, wait a minute. Can everybody see my iPhone and my iPad on the screen? Somebody unmute and tell me.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk about the iPad here. And what you do is you go to setup setting, haptics, you go to settings. And if you scroll down in the settings menu or look down in the settings menu to where it says sounds and haptics. Okay, sounds and haptics. I tap that. And you scroll down in that menu to where it says, well, first of all, you see where it says haptics there, and you can adjust either you get it, always play the haptics, play in silent mode, don't play in silent mode, or never play. I have mine set to always play. And then I'm going to hit back. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where it says system haptics and make sure that's turned on. I
Now,
want to check something.
if you checked all the right places and it doesn't seem to be working, what else could the problem be?
You don't get haptics when you touch the screen?
No,
Is that what's happening? Now,
Yes.
you're on an iPad or an iPhone?
iPhone.
Say again?
iPhone,
Okay. And you have system haptics turned on?
yes.
And you have keyboard feedback sound and haptics turned on. Right there.
Let's see.
It's on the same screen right above system haptics.
I'm on sound and haptics and it starts ringtone alerts, so maybe I'm on the wrong page,
Well, I'm on sounds and haptics at the top.
right? Mm-hmm.
And I have haptics play, I'll always play. And then I scroll down and it says keyboard feedback, sound and haptics, and then system haptics. So I have those all turned on.
Okay.
Bill, question. In between keyboard feedback and system haptics, I have lock sound and it's on. Should I turn that off?
No, leave that on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bill,
And if that doesn't do it for you, you're due for a call into Apple. I was really, I was really embarrassed. I got a new phone for Christmas and it wasn't working. The ring wasn't going off. When I got a phone call, I'd get a phone call, my watch would ring, but my phone wouldn't. So I did all my going to settings and trying everything that I could find. I finally called Apple and they're quite responsive. Took me a little while to get on. Had to wait about 10 minutes, I think. And they started taking me through all the things that I had done. And they said, well, did you switch on the side button? And my heart went, oh, shoot. On the side of your phone, and it's on this edge, there's a little slider switch. I call it the church switch or the theater switch. And you can click that with your fingernail. You can, if you have they've removed it from the iPhone 15 Pro, but it's still on all the other phones. There's a little side switch there that you turn on and off with your fingernail, pushing it toward the face or toward the back of the phone. Okay. And if you look at it closely and it's red, there's a red background, that means it's in silent mode. And that's what was wrong. So even, never mind. All right, everybody, so
No.
don't, if that's on, in other words, you can see red there, that means it's not going to be making any sound at all. The haptics still work, no, okay?
Hey, Bill,
Yes,
Jim McIntyre. On my iPad, it only has sounds, but on my iPhone, it has sounds and
haptics,
haptics, sound and haptics. So
right.
what's with my
Pad,
iPad?
the iPads don't have haptics.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, gosh. Oh. What does haptic mean anyway?
I think it's a sense, you feel it on your finger. I haven't looked up the definition of it, but it's a vibration in this
Ask
case.
Siri.
Ask Siri what haptics is. Ooh. All right. Everybody pick up your iPhones or your iPads. Just hold them in your hands. I can see if you're doing it, so I want you to do it. Just hold it in your hand. You have more compute power in your hand than it took to launch our astronauts to the moon. I'm not saying you could use the computer in here, but the compute power in this computer in your phone is more than was used to launch their astronauts to the moon. It can do something like 2 billion, that's in B, additions a second. And that's faster than we can add for sure. 2 billion. Wow. And by the way, a billion is roughly 1 gigabyte. 1 gig, I'm sorry, 1 gig. And we'll talk about more about gigs and millions and billions a little later. But it's a billion is 1,000 million. Okay. Now it doesn't match our national debt, which is trillion. That's the next one up. But anyway, if you look at the outside of your phone, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch gears here on the display. And we'll talk about which phone do you have. And here I've gone to the Apple site, and they're showing you the different phones. Now, if you don't know which phone you have, or this is the iPad, I'm sorry, let me show you the phones. If you don't know which phone you have, the way in which you can find out is you can go to settings, and let me switch back here. You can go to settings on either your iPhone or your iPad. And the settings is the little cogwheel there at the bottom. And you scroll down in the settings menu to where it says general. And there it is on my iPhone. Here it is on my iPad. You tap general on either device, and it comes up with a menu on the right that starts with general. And it has the word about. If you tap about, it tells you which phone you have. So on my iPhone there, it says model name is iPhone 15. On my iPad, it says model name iPad Pro 11 or 11 inch, 4th generation. Okay. Any questions on that one? Good. Don't hesitate to ask a question if you have one. So I've gone to an Apple site that shows me the different phones that are available. And you can compare them. So here I'm comparing the iPad Pro Max, the iPad Pro, and 15, and the iPhone. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the iPhone here. But you can change and see different phones. So if I wanted to compare that, and here's all the different models. I click the little down arrow there, and I have all the different models of the iPhone back to iPhone 6. If you're in the market for a phone and you're on a budget, there's the iPhone SE. It's the third generation of the SE, but make sure that's what you're getting. And it's the least expensive. So I'm going to click on that one, and you can see what it looks like. And you can see the size comparison. Here's the colors they offer them in. And you can see the price. So the price for the least expensive device is $429 versus for the iPhone 15 is $1,000 or $1,200 for the Pro Max. But you can change all these. Say, gee, what if I wanted to? I don't know if they have a price on the iPhone 6 anymore. No, they don't. I'd like you to just look at the picture on the screen that I'm showing you right now, and I want to show you the major difference between the older devices and the newer ones. The major difference is right here. This button is called the home button, and it doesn't exist on the newer models of the iPhone or the iPad. So if I click the iPad here, you see it doesn't exist on these models, but if I change the model number to, let's go iPad Air, oops, got to go back further.
iPad 9th generation has it.
Which one?
9th generation.
Not many. No? Oh, it's there. You just can't see the button. See how the screen occupies the entire length of the iPad here? It doesn't on this particular model. Okay? If you're looking for an new iPad, the standard iPad 9th generation is available for $329. A full-blown computer for $330. Really good deal.
Bill, Mary Ann, I had a question on the phone and I couldn't get unmuted. I bought the Pro 14 and then I was getting something update to iOS 17. And in the middle of it, I quit. I got scared so I got 17.1.2. Is that okay?
On your iPhone?
Yes, yes. I had the Pro 14 and
Okay.
then I got a notice to update to iOS 17 and I got a little panicky when it was putting too much in. I thought maybe I was getting something I shouldn't.
No. That's a good question. If we just
No.
talk about updates for a minute. We often get updates from Apple. What's their purpose? When they're doing ones like you just talked about, where it's 17.1.1 or 17.1, it's usually to correct errors or to take care of a security flaw they have found. So it's always good to do the updates and don't. The
Thank you.
problem with updates that many of us are aware of is that they change something the way it works.
Yeah,
Learn a new way of doing something. I call it the senior update, forcing us to use our minds again. But yes, but you should do the updates because of the security issues and the issues with bugs or errors that are in the program.
thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
So if we go to 17 to 18, it's usually a major update, which will contain things that we'll have to learn how to do that we got used to doing. Don't be afraid of it. It will work. You just have to learn a new technique.
Another
Okay?
thing I question is spywares because like I have spyware from Dell on my laptop and then I get things that say I'm getting another spyware. And I understand if you have more than one, it conflicts. I don't know.
The Apple devices, I do not have additional spyware protection on my Apple devices.
Okay,
You don't need it.
thank you.
Apple is very good about spy or it's called viruses of any kind, malware of any kind. On my PC, I use just the Windows virus protection that comes with it.
Thank you.
And it updates itself automatically, doesn't charge you anything, so you don't get reminders that you have to do that. By the way, no virus protection can protect you against clicking at the wrong place.
Oh,
So when
Good.
you get an email with a link, you probably should not click the link.
good advice.
Uh,
Thank you.
And if you're going to websites that you haven't been to before, if you go to Google search and go by the second page of suggestions, probably you're getting into some potential dangerous territory. So don't, and or to sites that might offer malware that you don't want. Okay,
Thank you.
let's talk about the device a little bit. The external part of your device. Oh, one other thing before I go, it's on the internet. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to send everybody who's registered for the class a email which will have the video of the class and will also have a link in it to a series of documents. It will be this series of documents for the iPad, and there'll be a comparable set of documents for the iPhone. In it are all kinds of documents, and let me just show you the big one here. It's called iPhone Basics Guide 2023. If you open that up, this is from Insider Magazine, and it's, I don't know how many pages, it's at least 139 pages on the basics of the iPhone. Okay. It goes through the different models and what they have. Let me get through all that. This is just one of the documents that you'll be able to get I don't recommend printing it out, actually. Because it'd be a little weighty, but and use a lot of ink, but you can use it online. And it's a PDF file. There's a bunch of other
Save it.
documents there. Go ahead.
Can you then save it to your files so that you can go into
Sure,
it
you
when you
can-
want to?
You can download it and put it on your computer. Yes.
Thank you.
Bill, I frequently can't find certain things, and so something like that I might want to put as an icon on my desktop. How do I do that?
The link,
Yeah, I mean, if I want to put this book with a picture on my desktop so I can just press it and find it.
Yeah. When you download it,
Yes,
you go to the download folders and basically you say, I want to put it on my desktop.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Wanted to show you a couple of other things that were there. Oops, you want to do that one? For example, here's gestures and how you get around there. There's one here on symbols that show up on your device. Shortcuts for the keyboard. General symbols. If I just click on that, here's all the symbols that show up on your device and what they mean. All right, so don't hesitate at all to use this. Okay, so you have an iPhone or an iPad. It either has this home button or it does not. And whenever I discuss gestures and how to get around the phone, I'll talk about how you do it if you have the home button and if you don't. All right. On your device, if you look at it, the front of it has the screen, and many people get a glass or plastic cover to put over the glass and a case. I do recommend that for the phones. Not necessarily for the iPad, because usually when you're carrying that around, you have a case that you have it on. But on the iPhone, has to be a little more rugged. At the bottom is the home button, or at the bottom of the screen, let me go back to at the bottom of the screen, if it doesn't have a home button, it has this line across the bottom. And what's on my iPhone right now is what's called the home screen. And it contains all the applications or some of the applications that are on your device. On the side of your iPhone, let's call it the left side, there's two buttons and that switch I talked about, the silencing switch. The two buttons are volume up and volume down. You see how I can change the volume? Oh, see how I change the volume? As I click it, you can see the little feature on the screen that shows that I'm lowering the volume or raising the volume. I just repetitively click that. On the right side is the side button. Some people call it the power button. That's the right side. On the back of your device, there are some cameras. You could have 2, 3, or even 4 cameras back there. They're for different lenses. So, you know, when you were in our younger days, we had 35 millimeter cameras, and we get these lenses for, you know, close or telephoto lens for long distance shots. Well, there's 2, 3, or 4 cameras there that do basically the same thing. Now, they don't go to 50x or anything, but they do go to 2 and 3x. There's also that white dot around the cameras. It looks like a little white feature. That's the flash. Okay? And it can be used, some of the newer iPads have that as well. And it can be used as a light, flashlight. At the bottom of your device, on the iPhones, there's some dots where the speaker is, and there's a dot where the microphone is, or some dots where the microphone is at the bottom. Just seeing what else we've got here. In many of the phones, there's a slot to put in the card, the SD card from the phone company. The newest model of the phone does not have that. On your iPads, similar kinds of things, except the speakers are maybe on the side or the bottom instead of, or they may be at the bottom and the top. And there's a button on the top of the iPad. And the top I'm referring to is up here. That's the power button. And the volume up and volume down buttons are over here. They're right around the corner from the power button. On the bottom is where you would plug in your power source or where you're charging on both the iPhone and the iPad. And the plug you plug in there has varied over time. It started out with a really wide connector, and it went to what they call the lightning connector, which is on the iPhone 10, 11, 12. And on the iPhone 15, they switched to a mini USB connector.
What about the
Inside,
13?
go ahead.
What
have
about
a
the
question?
13?
Say
You
again,
said-
please.
What about the iPhone 13?
It has the lightning connector. And if I switch the screen, stop sharing for a minute. And it's the one that looks like, okay. I'm going to show it to you. Here it is. I can't show you one. Hold on. It's the one that looks like this. Okay. Inside your phone. Go ahead.
I have this magnetic sort of thing Something's happening with the sound. I'm not sure. Anyway, I have this magnetic sort of thing on an iPad on the side. When it gets somewhere near the side of the iPad is the charging, it sort of whatever it's like a magnet, it goes inside, but the iPad sort
Talking
of
about
grabs
this
it.
on the iPhone,
No, iPad.
I know, but is it a circle like that?
No.
And you don't need to plug it in, you can just lay it on it?
No, you need to plug it in, but it's some kind of magnetic plug-in sort of thing that once you get near it, it kind of grabs it. That's okay. I'm still confused about my iPad. I don't know how to use the iPad, so, but I do know how to charge it. So anyway, go back to where you were.
There is a way to charge your iPhone. If they have a circle on the back of it, you can just lay it on a particular type of charger and it will charge automatically. Okay,
Even with a case on it?
say again?
Even with a case on it?
Even with the case, you should get a case that has the little circle on it.
But you need the special magnet.
You need the special charger.
Right. Okay. Because I've got the little white things, so you need the charger to do it though.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So you don't have to plug it into anything.
Mhm.
And that's what I have on my nightstand. I have the capability to just lay it on the charger without plugging it into anything.
White dot you're talking about is underneath where the camera is, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
the circle that's here is on the case. It's not on the phone itself.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But there's a cutout on my case where the camera is and where that
Right.
little dot is that you're talking about, I think.
Yeah. Mine too.
Where's-
Bill, where do you get this charger, this particular charger?
Thank you.
Just a minute. Where do you get the charger? Um, trying to look here what I got laying around. There's one for if you have an Apple Watch, it looks like this,
I don't have that.
but you have to buy a special one. I did mine on Amazon. And I can charge my watch and my iPad on the same thing. It has two different stations, if you will, on the device itself. But if you just look it up, I think they're called mag chargers for the iPhone and iPad, or iPhone, I'm sorry.
Bill, I have a charger I got at the Apple store and it
Yep.
has it's like a little compact. And on one side is the charger for the phone and the other side is the charger for the watch. And I love
Yes.
it. When you're
Yes.
traveling, it's wonderful.
I have one of those. That's what's on my nightstand.
Oh, that's what you've got the dual one then.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bill, while you're talking about charging, I think at one point you had mentioned way back to let it go down. I usually make sure I'm 80 and above. Maybe that's wrong. What
Yeah,
do you
you don't-
recommend?
You shouldn't charge it on charging. You should not charge it if it's above 70%.
Okay, thank you. That's the phone and the iPad.
That's correct.
Thank
And the
you,
watch.
thank you.
And
Did you
you-
say 70 or 75?
70. And every once in a while, you should let it run down to 10 or less every once in a while. Usually that happens by accident for me. So, oops, I forgot to charge it. Okay, once in a while is once a month, and that's to exercise the battery. Okay. Inside your phone, there's a couple of things we need to talk about. inside your phone, for example, there's a bunch of antennas. Some of them are for Wi-Fi connection. Some of them are for cellular connection. And some of them are for what they call near field communications. And some of them are for Bluetooth. So there's a bunch of antennas running around the inside of your phone. When you get on the internet, there's two basic ways to do it. One is through a Wi-Fi connection in your home or business or restaurant, wherever you might be, there might be a Wi-Fi capability. If you're not near one of those, you can still get on the internet through cell phone towers. And that's the way your phone that's the way you make phone calls. But it's also the way to get data and ship data back so you can do your mail and get on the internet and do a bunch of things. If I went through there's 4 different kinds of antennas in there, and we'll start with cellular. Those are miles away. The Wi-Fi signal is the one you have in a box in your home, and you're most likely talking to me on it. And you have to be within 100 to 200 feet of that box in order for it to work. There's something called Bluetooth communications. Now, let me back off a minute. The cellular and Wi-Fi get you communicating to the internet or making a phone call. The Bluetooth communication capability, different frequency, allows you to connect to things like your hearing aids, speakers, external speakers, your car stereo system. So those are usually within about 10 feet of where you are. And then there's one set of antennas in there called near field communication, NFC. They allow you to hold up your watch and pay your bill on the card reader. So they're inches away. Or you can hold up your phone and you just put your phone down and swipe it over the card reader in many, many stores now to pay your bill, assuming you set up your phone correctly. Okay? So those are the 4 kinds of antennas that are in your device. The other thing that's in there that, on the iPad, most iPads do not have the cellular capability. You can pay extra and get that so that you can actually get on the internet through your iPad if you're out and about and not near a Wi-Fi connection. If you're in the market for a new iPad and you also have an iPhone, I don't recommend that you get that cellular connection because you can set up your phone to be a wireless connection. So it can be a router. And you can hook your iPad to your phone that's talking to the cell phone towers. That's a little complicated. Don't need to worry about it. But you don't need to spend the extra money and get a cellular device, cellular iPad. The other thing that's in your phone and your iPad is memory. And you can have, I think today you can have 32, 64, 128, 256, and probably 512 gigabytes of memory. Anybody know what a gig is? What's a gig? I'm needing audience participation now. What's a gig?
It's 1 billion.
Bytes.
1 billion.
Billion
A
bytes.
billion, that's right. It's 1,000 million. Yes.
1 billion.
Billion bytes.
Okay. So, and then the second word there, gig, is byte. What's a byte?
A letter or
8 characters.
What? Thank you. A byte is the way in which the computer saves information. 1 byte is 1 character. So it could be an A. So if you have a computer that has 1 byte of memory, you can store 1 letter in it or 1 character,
I don't
a
think we want
slash, a
that.
number, etc. So if I have 1,000,000 bytes, I can actually put a book in there.
Mhm.
You know, I sat down, I counted all the letters and numbers on the book last night. Actually did it on 1 page and multiplied. But anyway, a book actually contains about 1,000,000 characters. So if you're reading a normal 300, 400 page book, it's around 1,000,000 keystrokes that it took to get that book made.
But you can have more books stored on your devices, but only one
Oh.
reading at a time, right?
That's true. So if I can put 1,000,000, I can put one book in 1,000,000 bytes. That means I can put 1,000 books in 1 gigabyte. So I can have 1,000 books in 1 gigabyte. If you have a 64 gigabyte iPhone or iPad, you can put 64,000 books in there. Now, if you have that many on your phone, you probably won't be able to lift it. It'll be too heavy.
Sure. Oh, you're funny.
All right. Now, don't believe that, please.
I
All
don't.
right. I don't think so. But the fact is, you can put that much on there. But the operating system and all the programs you put on your device, programs are called applications. All those things take up space as well. So you don't have all the space that you got to play with. I do recommend you get at least 64 gigabytes of memory on either device if you're in the market today.
Hey, Bill,
My God.
Bill,
Yes.
when you say memory, are you saying are you really calling that storage? Is that storage?
Yes. Yes. Memory. It's storage. Yes.
Shouldn't you call it storage rather than memory?
I know it gets confusing because they don't ever use the word memory the way we think about it on computers in the iPhone and iPad. They call it memory.
It's my
But
idea.
you're right. You're right, Jim. It's 64 gigabytes of storage.
Right. And memory refers to what it can be on the activity at the present time.
That's correct. What you
Perfect.
have available to you right away. Yes.
That's memory. Storage is
Yeah,
what, okay.
but you don't have a choice on the memory on your iPhone and iPad.
Right. This is capacity on the phone.
Yeah, it's capacity. That's another way to think.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, that is confusing. If you're a computer guy, say, how much memory can I have? 64 gigabytes. No, that's storage. I want to know how much memory.
Yeah.
When you buy a computer, you get storage.
It is,
and
yeah.
different things.
Memory and storage are separate things, in my opinion.
Well, they are on the computer.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you've looked at the outside of the machine.
Bill,
Yes.
I put a couple of photographs of my charger to the iPad that I was talking about that maybe you will recognize.
You did what?
Put photos in the chat of the iPad that I was fumbling with describing the charger.
Oh, I see it.
I'm not sure what you're telling me. Oh, you put something in the chat?
I put photos in the chat of the charger that I was having trouble describing.
Okay.
Maybe you recognize it.
Wow, that's the, oh, this is for the computer.
No, it's an iPad.
That's not an iPad charger
Well, that's what
that
they
I
gave
know
me.
about. Is that a brand new iPad or something?
Yes,
I've
But
never
that-
seen that connector on an iPad.
okay, well, that's what it is, and it's in the iPad, and obviously it's in the iPad with one with the green little light.
I think you're talking about your computer. I think
Nope.
you're talking about a tablet.
No, it's an iPad.
Shit.
Is that two other connectors beside it?
No wonder it doesn't work.
No, that's just, I don't know what the rest of them are, but this is the one that I know where to put in the charger.
Interesting. Let me take a bigger look at that.
Okay, all right, I'll try to find out what my iPad is specifically.
I have never seen that before.
Okay, well, this is my first iPad, so I've never seen it before either.
Bill, while you're on the outside the phone, a lot of times I'm bumping buttons and like, I think one might be taking a picture of the screen. Sometimes I get they're calling 911 and I say, no, what, could you kind of review the buttons on the iPhone on the outside when you're bumping stuff?
Right. I'm going to talk about the functions of the iPhone buttons
Okay.
in a little while.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bill? can I
That's
ask
got to be
you
a
question?
computer. There are two other connectors there. Kathleen, I have seen that connector frequently and it's always been associated with the Apple laptop.
It's an iPad Pro, does that help? I mean, no? Okay. I'm still looking for what I own. I haven't been able to use it, which is one of the problems, and that's why I'm here.
I think
So
you're
I
talking
will-
about a tablet.
Hey.
The tablet. He says she's talking about her tablet.
Is Bill with us? Bill,
Yeah, I'm here.
could you check what's the connector on the iPad Pro? It's not that one, is it? The one that's in the chat room right now?
My iPad Pro has a micro C on it,
Yep.
and I'm
that's not a
second generation
micro C.
Pro.
Yep. So you're talking about a laptop, Kathleen.
Okay, I'll look for what it is so you can explain how I'm confused. So let me find out.
If that's a laptop and you think it's a tablet, that's why you're.
Oh, no. I think it's a laptop. It's an iPad, I thought Pro laptop. Well, anyway, let me look for it exactly, so I'm not, so.
It's not the tablet. It's not the tablet.
I don't think
Not an
so.
iPad.
I'll look.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, see, I just get everything confused.
Okay. If we turn on our device, it's called the power button that you hit. And when you tap it, it should come up with a screen.
Yeah.
You're talking iPhone.
And there's a line at the bottom. If you flick up that line, it should come on, or you should be able to put in a password. Passcode, I should say.
You had what you're showing on your screen.
Yes? Oh, I don't have you on my screen.
Screens.
A few minutes ago I could see, but now I can't.
It's called the.
That better?
Nope.
Not yet.
No, we could see
There it
you.
is. Good now.
Now I've got
You
it.
got it.
You see my screens,
Yes,
Yeah.
my two screens?
yes.
I'm gonna take a short break. I'll be right back.
Me too.
We gotta go potty. It should be turned off periodically. So to turn it off. You press one of these, and this one. That turns it off.
I also put in the chat that Bill's birthday is in 2 days, in case anyone wants to know.
Oh,
See, you're supposed to turn it on. He told us before, you should turn it on and off at least once a week.
Oh, I do. I turn it off at night before I go to bed.
Yeah. You know,
That way, the motor,
yeah,
lasts long.
the battery lasts long.
Battery lasts longer.
That's like battery lasts longer. I turn it off for you. But you need to update it when we're done with all this shit.
I don't know that it's
Are you getting anything out of it?
not much.
Yeah, it's hard to, they just, see, Bill seems confused and the other people are confused. And book.
I have 1058.
Can I want to ask you a question. By show of hands, how many of you have a home button?
nobody.
I do.
You have the home button, so Yui and Marianne are the only ones that have a home button?
Home button
Oh,
on
Bob
what?
has one.
iPad or your
No,
iPhone?
Bill, I have a
or
home
both?
button too. This is Cheryl.
Well, either, if you have a home button on the iPad or iPhone,
Yes, I have both.
I do.
and that's the button at the bottom. So there's three of you, the rest of, oh, you do?
Oh, I don't have the bottom on the
I
iPad.
got one on iPad.
On the iPad, I do.
Okay, on either one, you have a home button. Because what I'm going to tell you next, it's different depending on whether you have the home button or not. So I'm going to speak to four of you first. If you have the home button,
Button or not?
You have no home button, no.
if you have a home button and you press the side button, and the side button is, are you looking at my devices right now?
Yes,
The side button is the one on the either the top or side, and if I have it horizontal here, right? It's here on the iPad and it's here on the iPhone. Now, I'm only talking to those who have a side button, a home button. If you press and hold that, it will come up with a screen that says slide to power off.
All right, wait a minute.
Say again, please.
You're getting us confused, getting me confused.
Well, don't pay any attention. Don't pay any attention if you have a home button. If you
Oh,
don't,
you said if we don't, oh, okay.
if you don't have a home button, don't pay any attention to what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
If you, that's the way you would power down your device. So we're getting into the functionality of the buttons. On the other hand, if you press the side button and the volume up button and hold them, lost it. One on the
Side
screen.
button, anyway.
okay, then I got that slide to power off or emergency call stuff.
Oops.
Powered off yet.
If you push
Okay.
it and hold it, you get emergency service.
I,
The phone I did.
do you have a home button on your phone, Leah?
No, I do not.
Okay, if you press the side button, which is the one on the right-hand side, and the volume up button, and hold them, it will say slide to power off, medical ID, or emergency SOS. Yes,
Yes,
that's on your phones.
Hey, Bill,
Without the side button, same thing.
I
It
got it.
says slide to power off.
Okay.
Now, the reason I'm telling you this is you should slide to power it off once every couple of weeks. And somebody's not sitting there saying, why would I do that? You would do that so that you can clean out the junk drawer in your computer, in your device. Okay?
hey, Bill,
Yes.
you said the power up button. You can also press the power down button and do the same thing.
Volume down.
Either one,
Try it.
volume up or down, along with the side
Yeah.
button.
Yes, either one. So I'm pressing and holding the volume up or the volume down and the power button at the same time. Now I'd like everybody to do that.
I did. It's taking me from. Oh.
Now don't do it on the device you're watching me on. Okay? And then slide the power off. And I just did it on my phone.
So did I.
Okay? So you slid it to power it down.
Yep, I gotta remember that. Mhm.
Okay? That's the side button and either the volume up or volume down, and then you slide it to power it off. You wait a minute, and then you press and hold the power button. And you continue to hold it. Now, everybody do this until the apple appears on the screen.
Which one is the power button? That's a
That's the one on
stupid
the
question to ask.
side button or the power button is the same thing. That's the one on the right side of your device.
That's
Your
there
phone.
by itself.
Say again, please.
It's there by itself. The
Yes,
other
the
side
one-
has two.
Bill, you mentioned when you power off, it cleans out junk. I'm
Mhm.
always going into deleted mail and deleting and should we
Let me-
be doing?
Let me explain something. It doesn't delete anything.
Okay,
You know, you have a junk drawer, it has everything in it.
yeah,
It's hard to find. If you open it up and you organize it, it's much easier to find the stuff.
correct.
So by doing this, you're not deleting anything, you're just organizing it so the operating system works more efficiently.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Bill, on my fourth generation iPad, all I have to do is press the side button. I don't have to press the volume at all to get it
That's
down.
correct. Have a home button. If you have a home button, you don't need to do both.
Well, it's the same thing. It's a side button. Or I mean, it's yeah, okay.
No,
So that's
The home button
okay.
is the one at the bottom of the screen. Do you have a home button?
I've got one on the side. I don't have any button on the bottom. No, I do not. I have one on the I have one on the side. You're right. Okay. All right. I do have one. Sorry. I
You
don't
have it
on my
horizontal,
phone.
it's on the side.
Yeah.
Face.
I
It's
can
on the
get this
face.
on and off all kinds of ways.
Okay. But now you know what the home button is. So if
Yeah.
I gave a test and I said, where's the home button? You would either say, I don't have one, or it's on the face of my device, either at
I've
the
got
bottom or the side.
Well, your iPad I put in all different positions.
I know, I know. Okay. And I say, where's the volume up and volume down button? You would know where that is,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
All right. Now, Mary Ann, you had a question about the function of the buttons.
Well, I think I kind of got it now. I think
Well,
I'm,
you got that much.
yeah.
For example, well, it's not, let me see something here.
Yeah, I mentioned I bump things and it like flashes like it's copying it or whatever's on the screen. But you explained this part.
If, now be careful with this one.
Okay,
If you have your iPhone and you press the side button, i.e. the power button, no, don't do it right now.
okay.
5 times quickly. Let me get my phone on the screen. Are you looking at my screen or not right now?
Yes,
Yeah,
Am I sharing my screen?
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You
but we
actually have
don't
the
see the whole
screen
thing.
mirroring button.
We do not see your whole screen.
Yeah, we do.
You see my iPad and
Yeah,
iPhone?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. If I press this side button
Done.
5 times really quickly, and don't do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
it comes up and starts counting down. It's going to make
What will
it's
it
going to
do?
make an emergency phone call,
Oh,
Ooh,
911.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
You heard the siren go off?
great.
Great.
Bill,
So
we
that's what
lost
makes,
your iPhone on the screen.
I know, it
Okay.
comes up,
I don't know what.
it drops the sharing capability, so
I
I
can
can't,
just hear.
maybe
Sorry, wrong number.
oh, you do that and they call you back.
I'll bet. Yeah.
And they try there, you have to convince the people at the call center that you're not under duress, like you have a gun to the head or something.
Yeah, like so. Yeah.
You
Oh, I'll
have to convince
betcha.
them
So you can't practice it.
that. Don't practice it.
No
I did it in
practice.
class and they did call me back and I said, I'm in the middle of a class. And they said, sir, are you under duress? No, I'm not. The class is making me nervous or whatever. All right.
Bill, I noticed you got screen mirroring and it goes to a TV. I've been wanting to do that on my TV in the living room. Does it only work on certain TVs? Like I've got a Samsung that's probably
It,
8
it
years
will
old.
work with Samsung if you have it working correctly. It
Okay.
will work.
Thank you.
Try it. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
I'll get someone to help me with that. Thank you.
Don't do it yourself. Try it. Just say, do what I just did, right? I go to the control center and it says, see that little squares right there? You tap that and it says where it can
The
hook onto.
TV. Would you tap now?
Say
Oh,
again?
the TV was okay.
Yeah, I'm in a class, but we'll get it.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, we've covered the buttons on the iPhone and iPad so far. Yes? Any questions about that? Anybody know what this screen that I'm on is called?
Virginia's listened to it.
Your home screen.
It's called the home screen. The home screen contains a subset. It could be all, but at least a subset of the applications you have on your device. And I want to start by just covering something called gestures. And that's the way you touch and move your finger on your screen. All right. So if I'm on my iPad, that's the one on the left right now, and I put my finger, let me see if this works on the, yeah. If I put my finger over here on the right or left and I drag it this way, I get something called the widget screen.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to talk, I just did it. And if I put my finger on the right side and draw it left, I get the second app screen. And I actually have three. And I know I have three if I look at the bottom of the screen there. If I look at the bottom of the screen, I see three dots. That means I have three application home screens, or three screens that show me different applications that I have on my device. If I sweep one more time from right to left, I get something called the application library, and that contains all of the applications I have on my device.
Bill, I have a question. I have about 7 dots there and I flip to different pages, but occasionally the camera comes up and I can't get rid of it. So what am I doing wrong?
You hit the camera app.
Yeah, and it wants to take pictures and I can't get rid of it.
You do you have a home button?
Yes,
You do have a home button. Tap the home
Yeah.
button.
well, I've got a home button, you know.
If you tap the home button, it will get rid of it.
Okay,
you-
thank you.
Yep. Where's my camera? There it is. If I tap my camera,
Yeah,
you see the line at the bottom? I don't have a home button, but I have this line.
okay,
If I sweep up, put my finger below the line and sweep up on the screen. Come on, go away. Come on. There it is. It goes back to my home screen.
okay.
If you don't know what to do or you're lost, press the home button or flick from the bottom and sweep up.
Thank you.
Okay? Or flick up. And I flick, I put it here and I go whoop, whoop. Okay? So that's another gesture. If I'm in my Maps application and I flick up, takes me back to the home screen.
Thank you.
So I've gone left, from right to left. I've gone from left to right. If I put my finger on the top right-hand corner of the left-hand corner of the home screen, that's right up here where the date is, date and time on the iPad, just the time. If I put my finger up there and pull down, I get something called the notification center. And I'll cover all this stuff later. We're just covering gestures that I can get rid of that by putting my finger on the bottom and flicking up again. I can put my finger on the right-hand corner and pull down. And I should get the control center. For those of you who have a button, I think it's if you double tap the button, you'll get the control center. Am I correct or not? Who has the button at the top or side? And if you double tap it quickly, you should get the control center, I believe.
The home button, Bill, the home button twice.
The home button twice. That doesn't give, no, I'm wrong. If you put your, if you have a home button and press it twice quickly, you'll end up with a list or pictures of all the applications that are open. Thanks,
Yeah.
Yui.
10 million there today.
So if I put my finger on the bottom of the non-home button screens and I pull up and stop in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger here and I'm going to go up to here, stop, and lift my finger. And you see what happens? I'll do the
Yeah,
same
that's
thing
what
on
I got.
the phone.
Yeah.
And it shows you all the applications that I have that are open.
I don't have one.
Now, once every day or so, you should do this and stop those applications from running. And the way you do that is you put your finger on one of them and you push it to the top,
Mhm.
like so.
Can't do them all at once either, right?
No, and Android has the capability of doing that all at once, but the iPhone has not, that I know of, initiated that. So I'm getting rid of all of them, and I have a lot running, don't I?
Call
you
Mary
don't-
Davidson Mobile.
Say again, please.
Can't remember that.
Hi, Doug came and fixed the table. And he hung a picture for me, so you don't have to come because the deed is done.
I'm not sure who's talking, but I don't think.
Well, I'm watching a free thing about iPad and iPhone, but the guys.
I just muted her.
Okay. Any questions on that particular? There's one other gesture you can make on the home screen that allows you to get something on your iPhone or iPad that acts like a Google search. So I'm going to do it on my iPhone first. I'm sorry, iPad first. Let me do it on the iPad first. You put your finger in the middle of the screen and you pull down, like so. And this is a program that Apple has come up with called Spotlight Search. If I'm looking for anything on my device, I can go there. There's also a list of applications I've used recently, but I can type in BILL and it lists every person I have in my contact list with the first name of Bill. It shows me my mail from Bill. It shows me something about the Buffalo Bills. Bill. It shows me pictures of Bill. Get the idea?
Wait, how did you
If I
get
change
that?
to Tom, here's all the Tom information. Get the idea?
Yep, thank you.
No, no. When I touch the screen, it activates the delete button to do, so you can delete all the apps you have.
Did he go in the middle?
Yes, I
You
go in
have
the,
to start in the middle and pull down.
but when I touch the screen, it activates.
Be sure you're not touching an app.
Yeah, I'm not
You don't
touching.
hold it very long. Okay, you just touch and pull.
Okay,
So if I'm right here, I touch and pull. I don't hold it there very long, Bill. Or I'm sorry, Jim.
yeah, I know that. Okay, it's working now. Again.
How do I get
Okay.
rid of it
Gotta do
now?
it real fast.
How do you get rid of it?
Yeah,
Tap anywhere on the screen other than in that box.
okay, thank you.
Isn't that nice, Mary Ann?
Hey,
Yeah, great, thank you.
hey, Bill,
Yes, go ahead.
one step back with the open apps that are running, you can actually do two at a time. I double checked.
I know, you can actually do three at a time with three fingers, but
My three fingers don't work.
but yeah, you can put two fingers on the screen, one on each of the apps and pull them up. Okay, so we've got, put my finger on the middle of the screen and pull down. Put my finger on the bottom and pull up to get the apps that are running. I don't have any running right now. You can go from left to right. You can go from right to left. A bunch of screens. You can start in the top left-hand corner and pull down. You can start it on some of you would start at the bottom of the screen and pull up to get to the control center, or you go on the right-hand side and get to the control center. All right. So those are a bunch of the gestures. If you're in a particular place, you can put two fingers on the screen and squeeze. My grandson, let's see, it's going to show you that. My grandson expanded my screen. He tapped my screen with three fingers twice. And go ahead and try that. See what happens. Three fingers, go tap, tap. And it should zoom in. And if that works for you and you don't know what to do next, you tap it with three fingers to zoom it back out again.
Got me into Apple News.
Okay, so now everybody back to normal?
Yes,
All right. If there's some other gestures you can make, and they are touching the screen and holding it. In some cases, you could even double tap the screen and do something, but let's just talk about one thing at a time here. If I press my finger, let me switch it to a pointer here. If I put my finger, let's say in a blank area of the screen here, and I just press there and hold it, all of a sudden, everybody starts shaking. See that?
yeah,
And how do you get them to stop? You just tap the screen again and they stop shaking. Come on. Show. Okay. So if I get them to start shaking, what I can do at this point is I can remove the app from the screen, or I can delete it entirely from my device. If I press, let me get rid of 7-minute, what is it? 7-minute chi. If I tap the minus sign there, you see what happened? I just tapped the minus sign and it can says remove chi, delete it or remove it from the home screen.
when
What
you
that
remove
means,
it, what? Is it removing it completely? Will it go to another page?
I'm going to just, oh, well, good
Sorry.
question. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're my straight person for today. If I tap the delete the app, it will remove it from my device. Let's see if it gives me a choice. It says deleting this app will also delete its data. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to cancel. Let me get them shaking again. If I tap remove from home screen, it will just remove it from the home screen and it will remain in the app library here. Okay, so if I
Oh.
ever want to get back on my home screen, I can go to the app library and get it back.
Okay, thank you.
Now you'll notice on my iPad, I have room for, I think it's 13 apps across the bottom. They're all shaking there. I'm going to take Ring off. So Ring's no longer in the they call it the dock. I'll take Safari off. Now I can put it back on again. Here it goes. Watch it, there it goes. And I can put Ring back on again. Now I don't know if I can add another one. Let me try. Oh yeah. Let me darn. Can I add another one? Boy. They keep getting smaller though. Let's see if I can add another one down there. I'll be darned. So they've added a lot more capability there than they used to have. Used to be a max of 13 or something like that. So I have 18 apps on the dock. The advantage of them being down there is that no matter what home screen I'm on, those remain on the dock. That makes sense? It's like the taskbar on your computers. I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull those ones that I put on there back off. As I mentioned to you earlier, I didn't mention this, I have over 300 applications on my devices. I'll switch to the iPhone here for a minute. And the additional thing I want to show you about that is that you can combine the applications. You can put them in what we'll call folders. If you look at my phone right now, you'll see it says Apple Watch. And in that folder, the gray area, if I open that, these are the applications that I have for the Apple Watch only. If I come down here to education, here's the apps I have for education. And there's 9, 10, 11 that I consider were for education. And so in, what do we call it here? In 3 pages, I have the majority of my applications. And so you're saying, well, Bill, how do I combine those? How do I put them together? What I want to do is demo it, and then I'd like you to try it. So I got them to shake, and they're shaking, they're on my iPhone. I'm going to take tips and put it on the Herald Tribune. And I slide it over, and I just release. It's going to happen here in a minute. There it is. If I want to put news in there as well, let me let that screen come up. Wow. I'm going to take the news app and I'm going to put it. Okay, so I take the news app and I put it in the education folder. Now, Apple named it education. I don't necessarily like that name. So if I open that folder, it opens up here. I can go here to the top and I can change the name. Now, we haven't talked about using the keyboard at all, so I'm just going to introduce it momentarily here. I can tap my finger here on the word education and the cursor will appear, or I can click the X, it will delete education and allow me to put in a different title. So I'm going to click the X. X, and then I'm just going to make it called stuff.
Your stuff is still wiggling. Okay.
So it's education.
Mhm.
It'll
Yeah.
catch up with me. You'll see it in a minute. So I hit the X, I type in stuff, and then I'm done. So now I have a folder. I have a folder. Come on, come on. Taking a long time to get there. There it is. Okay, a folder called stuff. And now you're saying, Bill, I didn't want to put all that stuff together, so I'm going to get them to shake again. I'm going to open stuff. And I'm going to move that guy down to here and release. So I'm moving Herald Tribune. It takes a while. There it goes. Okay, now I'm going to open it again and I'm going to take tips out of it. So watch tips come out of it. And since there was only one thing left in there, it says you don't need the folder, and it eliminated the folder entirely. Any questions on that?
Not exactly that, but can you do the same with photos and moving them into an album?
Not this way, but
Okay.
yes, you can.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll
I
cover
noticed
that
when I try to
I'll
make
cover
an
that.
album, the photo stays in the main whole mess. I always
Yeah.
wish it would go away.
Photos, in photos, just Marianne,
Yeah,
when you're working with photos and you create an album,
yes.
you can put one picture in 5 different albums.
Oh,
So all the pictures, let me word it differently. The only place the picture exists is in recents.
okay.
And you make the observation. If you create an album and you move that picture to it, it looks like you moved the picture, but all you put in the album was a pointer back to recents.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't occupy additional space, very little additional space, if you put the same picture in 5 albums.
Okay, thank you.
The key thing there, if you delete it from recents, it deletes it everywhere.
Um,
You can delete it from the album, but if you delete it from recents, it'll remove it from all the albums.
Thank you.
Okay. Next time, I'm gonna stop there. I've covered enough, I think, for the newbies that you should have enough to digest.
Great class. Thank you ever so much.
Yeah, is there, I would like to go around, see if there's any questions from anybody. Anyone? Yes, no, maybe?
I think we're all mortified with a lot of information, trying to absorb. Thank you.
Bill, this is Ralph. I'm curious. I have my camera on, but I don't see my picture in the lineup of all the other participants.
Say that again, Ralph?
I have my camera on and I don't see my picture along with all the other participants in today's class. Do you
just
see me?
You just see your picture or you don't see it? Do you see
I
my
just-
picture when
I can see your picture and a picture of everyone else, but I can't see a picture of me. And I was wondering if you can see a picture of me.
I see a picture of you and your wife?
Yeah, I do too.
Bill, I am missing on my apps on my phone, the one for photos. How do I get it back?
You're missing, let me point to it here. You're missing this one?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at that.
Your app library.
In the app library. So if I go to the app library by going right to left several times, 1, 2, 3, there's the app library. And it says app library at the top there. If I click on that, where it says app library at the top, I tap on it,
Right.
it lists them all in alphabetic order.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go down to the P's, oh, there's T's. If I go down to the P's, I should see photos.
And how do I get the icon on the?
I'm going to do that next.
Oh, okay, fine.
There
Thank you.
it is. There it is. You passed it.
You passed it.
I passed it?
Yep, you
Yeah.
passed it.
Go
Where
up.
is it? Go up.
A little further down.
A little further down.
Down. No, the other way.
I see
The other way.
phone.
No, keep going.
Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Go
Keep
to
going
the,
up.
no, you're going the wrong way.
Screen
There
up.
it is. There it is. Okay, it'll show up on yours in a minute. There's a delay between when I do it on my phone and when it shows up on your screen.
Okay. There you
There
go.
it is.
There you go.
Okay. I was asked the question, well, how do I get it from here onto my main screen?
Right.
I'm my finger on it, and then I'm going to just hold it there, and all of a sudden it shows up on my main screen. And it will do that. And now I've got it twice on my screens. It'll happen. It'll happen. See, I'm putting my finger on it. Just leave your finger on it, and it opens one of the home screens, and now it's on your home screen.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bill,
Yes.
can I transfer a photo file from my computer to my iPad home screen?
A file or a picture? What are we asking here?
No, a photo file. I have a photo file on my home screen on my computer, and I want to transfer it to the home screen on my iPad.
Good question.
Yes, you can do that.
You can move the pictures. So you have it on a PC or a Mac?
A PC.
So you have the pictures on a PC?
On the home screen.
As a folder, is that what you want
As
to
a
do?
folder, correct.
Okay, I do not know of a way to do that. You could get them onto your phone
Yes.
as a,
Hey, Bill,
but I
There-
don't think you can get an album on your home screen. Go ahead.
there's a way to transfer a photo file from your computer to your iPhone or iPad. I do it all the time.
And you do it, how do you do it? Because there's multiple ways.
Let's see, there's a setting that you have to put into your phone, I think it is.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you go, let me see if I,
I'm gonna dig a rabbit hole here. Put it this way, there are several ways to do it depending on the photo app you want to use. If you have Google Photos, there's a way to do it. And if you have Apple
So,
app for the one we just moved onto the home screen here, you can put them in the iCloud and do it.
Oh, okay. So you're working from the iCloud.
Right.
Okay,
Right. So if you put the pictures in the iCloud, they will automatically show up on your iPhone or iPad.
okay, great. Thank you.
All right.
oh, okay.
If it's still- You can
Can't
email
hear
it to
you.
yourself. You can't.
We're not on the right microphone because
You can't
you're
hear
not
me?
muted.
Now you should be able to hear me.
I got you.
Another way is to email it. If it's just one picture, email it to yourself and then take it out of the email and
And
do
save
whatever
it.
you
Yeah.
want to do with it.
About
Yeah.
40 pictures in
Oh.
the one file, yeah. And I can do that through the iCloud.
Yes.
Okay, great. That's all. I
Move,
didn't realize that. Okay.
move them. You may have
Bill,
to
how
move
do
them
we
on
check the level of battery on our Mac?
device. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one. You can,
Thank
on
you.
my phone, the level of the battery is right up here.
No, on the mouse that I have plugged in on the Mac. The mouse that I use on my Mac, how do I find out the level of the battery on my?
Click on Bluetooth.
When you say you're plugged in, the cable plugging it in?
I just charged the mouse for my Mac. Now I've unplugged it and I want to see how full it is on my Mac.
I I don't know.
I know there's
See,
a way to do it, but I can't
Anybody
remember.
have- anybody have-
I actually, if you go up to the top and you click on the Bluetooth, it will give you the level for both your mouse and your keyboard.
There you go.
Okay, go to Bluetooth.
The Bluetooth symbol at the top. It looks like sort of like a bow that's tied.
Yeah, I wish somebody would figure out to describe what that is.
I'm not
But you're right.
finding the Bluetooth. At the top of the screen on my Mac?
Yes, I have an ear, a computer screen, a circle with a man in it, and the next is the Bluetooth. But I don't know if yours is.
I have a shield with green, recording, application.
You click on it, Kathleen?
Yes, click on it.
Let me get the Bluetooth symbol up here.
Yeah, how do you get the Bluetooth
On
symbol?
your setting.
What? Here.
That's presuming it's a Bluetooth mouse, right?
Yeah, I assume. Yeah, I don't have the Bluetooth setting symbol. Where can I find that?
It's like a
I know.
like a bowl, a side
Anybody-
bowl.
I don't know what it is.
Go to
Any other-
Bluetooth and settings. Go to Bluetooth and settings.
Did that, but I have the description of it. It doesn't have a
It's like a
picture of.
sideways, sort of a sideways bowl.
It's right next to the word Bluetooth.
Yeah.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Julie.
Where is
Right
it?
here. Looks like this.
Looks like
Okay.
that.
I go to settings.
Can you blow that up?
No, I can't. I don't think I can. No.
Go to
Do it
Bluetooth.
on the phone. See if it's any bigger. Yeah, it's a little bigger on here on the phone. It's this guy.
I like Kathleen's description of it. A bow
What'd she say?
tied in the middle.
That's what I said.
What tied in the middle?
A bow,
A bow.
bow?
It's like a bowl.
a bow,
It's
B-O-W.
sideways bowl,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh, right.
I think it's a B for Bluetooth with a forward arrow through it.
Oh, that's could be too. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
How about that?
Bill, when I go to other places and it asks me if I want these things on, I'm afraid because I don't want somebody in on my phone. Should I have these things on or off, like in a doctor's office or a meeting or something?
Which things we
Well,
talking
like
about?
the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The Bluetooth I have on in the car, I think, you know.
Yes. So I
But-
have mine on.
So should any of those be off when you're in an insecure place? You know, they ask me if I want it on or off. And a lot of times if I'm not at home, I'll say, turn it off. Maybe I'm being too picky.
Now, the only the way where it gets into problems is airdrop, and we'll talk about that in a later class,
Okay,
where somebody can try to airdrop something to you. So
okay,
you could get a message, Ivan Idiot's trying to send you something, and you can deny it.
okay.
So it's
thank
not
you.
gonna put anything on there, but you may get that kind of an error message
All
or a
right.
message.
Bill,
It's Ivan
after,
Idiot and Gertrude Gangrene. It's the two guys.
Thank you.
Anyway,
after
yes.
taking, sorry about all that time, I actually found a model number, if that would help, to identify my mysterious device.
Yeah. What is it?
F as in Frank, N as in Nancy, W as in whole, D as in
Whole?
David,
No,
W.
no. W?
Then
WD.
D, right, as in David, 3, LL/A.
She's got it in the chat.
Oh, I actually didn't send it. I sent it to you in the chat.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, fine. Send it to you in the chat, Bill.
I
No,
may
not
want to check
Bill.
To Huey.
Huey,
To
you want to check
Bill,
that out?
Bill.
I'll go ahead and put it to everyone.
Oh, okay, fine, thank you.
Bill,
That's-
can you tell us a way to check on our iPhone who knows how to see whether we have opened a message?
Well, if you get messages, and I have several here.
And sometimes it'll say read, and other times it'll just say delivered. What I want to know is how do I know who lets it read, who lets me know that they have read my message?
You don't
You don't? There's no way we
Just
can look that up?
I don't think there's a way to tell.
Okay. Okay. No big
I
thing.
sometimes, when I'm on my phone with a message to my son and
It's a
stuff,
red,
I will, down at the bottom, it says like, it'll first say delivered when they actually goes to his phone. And then when he opens it, I get a thing that says read, like Bill's got there on his iPad.
But my question is there a list of people that have let me know that they're read, or do I need to just make my own list?
Well, it looks
This
like it
just
does.
means that it's, this just means the specific message that you sent has been read. You don't get a general list.
I understand that, Bill. But there apparently is not a way to find out all the people in my, say my computer or my phone that will
Oh, you're
let me
sending it
know
to
it's read.
multiple people? You're sending it to multiple people?
Yeah,
That's a different problem, probably.
okay. Well, just forget it. Thank you. I won't take up any more time.
A good Google
Bill?
question.
Okay.
Bill,
Yeah.
Bill, I have a question, and
Go ahead.
it's about, you're on your settings screen on your phone, and between personal hotspot and notifications, I have one that is VPN and it says not connected. It's a good idea to have that, is it not? And should it be connected?
Usually VPNs charge you for their service. I don't have a VPN. Or I'm not using a VPN.
Are you saying it's unnecessary?
Oh my.
It's I would say it was an individual thing, depending upon what you want to do and why you want to have it.
Right.
It-
I
It's a
thought
way
it
to
was for
prevent
security.
knowing where you are.
Bill doesn't use a VPN, and this is Huey, and I don't either.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm checking something. I'm going to settings, general, about. And you see where my model number is right here? This is for Kathleen. And you said you had FNWD, right?
We've also determined she has a MacBook. It's not a.
Okay, it's
It's
not a
not an
tablet.
iPad. That's correct.
Can't hear you, dear. Kathleen, can't hear you.
I think I need to go back somewhere to the basics and read about the difference between tablets and computers. Somehow I missed that. Hmm.
Okay.
Well, I guess I at least got the MacBook Pro, right? Is that? I did. Okay, fine. Oh, I think I'm going to give it to my daughter since I can't use it.
All right. Hold on. So next week we will continue on settings. Awesome.
Pictures back, so
Ever since I was a child, I had the fear someone was under my bed at night. So I went to the shrink and told him, I've got a problem. Every time I go to bed, I think there's someone under it. I'm scared and I think I'm going crazy. Just put yourself in the hands of me for 1 year, said the psychiatrist. Come in and talk to me 3 times a week, and we should be able to get rid of those fears. How much will it charge me? Well, $80 per visit, replied the doctor. I'll sleep on it, the man told the psychiatrist. 6 months later, the doctor met the psychiatrist on the street. I'm sorry, the man met the doctor on the street. Why didn't you come back to see me about those fears you were having? He asked. Well, $80 a visit, 3 times a week for a year is $12,480. A bartender cured me for $10. I was so happy that I saved all that money that I went and bought myself a new pickup truck. Is that so? With a bit of attitude, said the psychiatrist. And how, may I ask, did the bartender cure you? He told me to cut the legs off the bed.
Well,
Nobody under there now.
Legs off the bed.
All right, folks.
That's pretty good.
Take care.
Have
See
a
you
good
next
week.
week.
Thank you,
Same
Bill.
time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Good
And thanks for
plan.
your help, Bill and Yui.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thanks,
in a
Happy
couple
Bill.
days.
See you next week.
Happy birthday in a
birthday.
couple days.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Birthday.
How old do you think Bill is?
Oh, yes. Bill's probably about
He's not telling.
70. I would
We
guess.
know how old he is.
How old is he? How
Well, he
old-
was born in 1995, I think, or 45. No, 45.
18
Sorry.
1892. 1892, folks.
1892.
Barbara's on your good list.
Yeah, right.
Have a good week, everybody.
Oh,
Gosh,
well, you see,
no,
it wasn't too good, was it?
no.
See, it's
Okay.
every-
I'm sharing. Okay, folks, take care. See you next time.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.